Malkuth, square in the circle. T equals 12 squared times HD. Right, I'll show you how we got there. Right, it starts in Malkuth, the 10th sphere, but we'll get back to that. So in the previous video that I did, no, the one for the last one, we were looking into 144. And 144 is obviously time in Jewish gematria, and there's the 440 minutes in a day. So, and I was thinking about, so we've got these rough notes. So I've got like 10, or so, that's 10D ring, as in the internal angle of the decadon being 144 degrees, right? And then I was thinking about the triangle number 666, and I'd also done the video before that was on the 666 engine, that turned 11 hours 6 minutes into 911. So go and check both of those videos out if you're not sure what I'm talking about there with the 144, or if you're curious on and the alchemical engine of 666 powering the inversion of 911. But then that's why then we've got 36 written here. So using the 10th sphere, we times 666, so we get 360, which then brings us to like the circle. And then we're thinking about squaring the circle, and like I've looked into it, like there's like mathematicians say you can't square the circle. It's like a fool's, I can't remember the exact phrase they use, but they're saying it can't be done. But obviously secret societies know it can. Not that I'm from one, but I'm a truth seeker, and I've done numerology and gematria, and now I'm learning alchemy as well and layering it. So what we've got here is 12 squared, representing the square, and 12 times 12 is obviously 144, which, like, my parents know that off by heart. I mean, I would have had to, I didn't know that until I saw it written down, to be fair. Off by heart, I could have figured it out, obviously, but they knew that off by heart. So then I got to join the square with the 12 squared with the square there. Sorry, I should point there. And then in a circle with the 144. But then I thought, like, that the corners of the square are obviously earth, air, fire and water, right? And then the circle must be like ether, which must be like time and light, which is obviously the moon and the sun moving around, which is dictates time to us. So from there, I then started thinking that, like, is there like a mathematical formula to go back on to show, like, just like, so that the video would be better to show. I was thinking this is a video idea, and then so and this is on my really old notebook, by the way, from 8 years ago, but I'm gonna have to get a new one. This is like the last page on it, or the second last page on it. The only clean bit I could find after that was on my, like, and I've never probably learnt this probably because for some reason or other, but I've got my gematria table there, so I've got it written beneath there. And so we're thinking, like, originally I've only done maths to GCSE C, because they wouldn't let me do a higher paper because like, I'm not even going to get into that, but I was only like, that's all I could get, and then I've not done any further education beyond that. So apart from truth seeking and teaching myself, so I've used some AI to calculate the maths, I've used a bit of AI for some probability on a couple of the videos I've done already, so I've got no problem using AI for for good, considering all the crap that's going on. Considering I've always wanted to do probability for gematria and the logistics of going and doing that when I'm dyslexic and with other problems that are going on in my life. To go and do that at a college when I've never been able to do that, before, and then it would mean that my mind would be fucked by the formal education. So anyway, I challenge any mathematicians who've got any problems and can't see things outside the box to come and challenge the actual mathematical formula that we're showing here. So that's T, equals 12 squared times HD. Now, I had to visualize it, right? So basically, I'll take you to the next set of notes from here. And it's the first set I flashed here. So, I mean, it's not really relevant what's written on the top, but for the record, it says the base 12 geometric constant. I think I meant to write constant of the solar day. Square, and then squaring circles was another thing I was thinking of writing, but then I changed it to Malkuth squaring the circle. Right, so this is the legend for it. So then it's helped me understand things myself, and there's actually an interesting video that I'm going to play after this at some point, not in this video but in future, of me having a discussion with the AI about this. So anyway, we've got T's obviously going to be is for the layman, T's what the formula is going to equal. So that's that's what's going to be at the end, which is 1,440, which is what we're aiming for. So the easiest way to do that is obviously times 10, but the tricky way is how do you represent the 10? So what we've done is using the using the, well, it depends how you look at it, it could be the 5 elementals, as in, it depends how you look at it. Mathematically, basically, it's 5. I've written it there, 5-fold hour, and then that's to get that was 60 divided by 12, and that's the hour ratio, obviously. So then that gets us to 5, and then the D is 2, which is the duality of the duality of the day, or in then hindsight afterwards, the horoscope and the clock. So the 2 12s to me are the horoscope and the clock, and alchemically. So basically, then to help myself understand it, I then had to jot this down, which so that's how I managed to understand it. And then, so that's obviously 12. That's the way I've just described it there. It's 12 squared in the square, and then putting the H in a in a pentagon, and then with the yin the yang. That's the way I was visualising it straight away, just for myself. With the D2, and then then that's the H5, obviously with the 5 points, and then the 140 with the arrow, and then I thought of the visuals. So then I've after I've done the maths with the AI, I've done so for the record, my idea of the maths to begin with, spotting, and then with the alchemical numerology, and then I've done the maths with the Dola AI, and then I've done the images you're going to see of stuff we came up with, but sequentially in between this and even that phase. So to help myself visualize it at this phase here, before we'd even got to there, it will be the will be the symbol you're going to look at next. Okay, so, and then hopefully I'll be able to talk through them. If not, then what you're going to see will be evident of what I've just described there. Anyway, okay, and I'll be able to layer them. All right. So thanks a lot. This bit's for any alchemists or numerological alchemists. All right. So the first image is like how that was like before I'd done any of the maths. So I was trying to visualize the squares. Yes, obviously try to square the circle, but using alchemy, and so the 12 squared obviously in the middle, but then the elements obviously in the on the 90 degrees of the squares, and then we've got the fire up here, which is the key one, and then the air, and then the earth, and then the water, and the fire's key because that lights the ring, the circle, with light, and with the answer square in the circle, which is the 1,440 minutes in a day. Or, I mean, if you're in numerology, you're not going to count the zero, so that's the 144. So that's the thought behind the first picture. Second was after we'd done the maths, okay, with Dola, all right, and then that's when I'm trying to then feed in something to come up with an alchemical formula. So that's obviously the H, which is the 5, which is where I've got that representative, and that's also when I showed the notes, how I'd understood it in note form. So this is right after that. This is right after how I'd understood it in note form with the 12 squared in the square, and the H with the 5, and then I'd actually had the yin and the yang, which is why the picture in the background there, which is the main one, and we've got 1,440. So that's an attempt at an alchemical formula for the mathematical formula that was shown before, which becomes even more apparent when you take into account the 12 squared is and it's clearly representative of the next image. It's clearly the face of a clock and the 12 hours on it, and the zodiac with the 12 signs. And so then when you bring the 10th circle of Malkuth in, and you divide it by 360 degrees of the zodiacal, clock, then that's where you get 36, which is obviously back to the squared. The triangular number of 66, which is where we started as well with the 10th circle of Malkuth, which we see in the final image. And I thought that was squaring the circle was with Malkuth, was squaring the circle, but the more I look at it, Malkuth is the square, signified by the elements, and that also the fifth, sorry, not the fifth element, but the signified by the four elements, or even five, or even by the five. You could even say by the five here, metaphorically. That's the square, Malkuth's the square, and that the 9 Sephiroth above it might be the circle, or is Malkuth's a squared circle. So leave you, whether you're a mathematician or a numerologist or an alchemical numerologist, or just someone interested in the occult, or someone interested in numbers, leave your opinion in the comments, please. I'd be very interested to see. Alright, thanks for watching. Alright, cheers, bye.